Hi my beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me yet again for another video. If it is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. As some of you might know and some of you might not know, that I am actually a semi-finalist in the Tammy Taylor Mrs. South Africa. Yay! So with that being said, one of our sponsors is Catrice Cosmetics, which in South Africa is brought to you by Cosmetics SA. So with that being said, I am going to be dedicating a whole section on my YouTube channel to Catrice Cosmetics, and I will be doing this by dedicating mini tutorials on makeup for beginners. So jumping right into it with my first tutorial for beginners, we will be working on the brows today. So if you want to know how to do your brows at home and you are a beginner, you've never done it before, or you struggle quite a bit, please stay tuned. So thank you so much. If you're still watching this video, you want to know how to do your eyebrows as a beginner. So because this section on my YouTube channel is dedicated to Catrice, I will only be using Catrice products. So to start off with today, I am just going to be showing you the Catrice products that I have that I would usually use for my eyebrows. I do not have the whole range of Catrice, but these are the specific ones that I do have. So first of all, there are many products on the market for your eyebrows. It goes from pigment, it goes to the brow pencil, it goes to brow gel, it goes to a brow pen. There is just so many to mention. But in front of me today, I do not have any sort of powder pigment, but I do have an eyeshadow which is in quite a dark brown, which I usually do use when this is the way I go. And this is the Catrice Absolute Eye Color in color 1030 Everyday I'm Hazeling. And then I have got the SLIMMATIC Ultra Precise, which is a brow pencil, and it is finished at the moment, but it is a pencil, and on the other side you've got your little spoolie. I've also got the Brow Comb Pro, which is a micro pen, which is like, for lack of a better word, a cokey. But it has, I'm not too sure if you can see that, it has little wedges in between the pin, giving it more of defined lines. If you can see that, me just making some lines, let's see. I'm not too sure if you can see the little lines that it creates, but that's it. And then I have got another Slimming Ultra Precise pencil, but this is in a darker shade, which is a darker brown, which is also finished. But I do have one over here that is not finished. And the Slimming Ultra Precise is my actual go-to one that I really love from Catrice. I prefer pencil. Depending on the look I am going for, I do opt for different options depending on how I feel that day. But today I will be using this brow pencil. So starting off, like I said, I will be using the brow pencil. I am just going to use the one side, which is the spoolie, and I am going to, it's just stuck the hair behind the ears. I am just going to brush up the hairs that are already there. So I haven't worked on my brows as yet, but if you did watch my last video on how I tint my brows, you would see how I shape them. So if you want, you can go ahead and look at that video after this, but we'll just jump right into it. So how I usually do this is I start with the bottom of my brow. I tend to take a finger, just put it on my temple and pull up when I do this, I am basically pulling my eyebrow up towards my temple, and this way when I draw my bottom line I can just go straight, but when I let go it creates a nice curve for me. Hopefully I'll be able to show you better than I explain it. But what I'm going to do is, yet again, like I said, pull up over there, starting point at the end over here. When you're not too sure where to start, you can just take your pencil and usually just do this. You can make a line there as you wish, if it's easier for you, and then just go, and from that line, that's where you want your brow to start. You just connect it to the end of your brow, moving along. The smaller strokes the better if you're not too sure how to go about. Smaller strokes, light strokes, very easy and simple. We won't make that much of a mistake really. So once the bottom is done, we are now going to go to the top. Okay, for the top of my eyebrow, I like to follow my natural eyebrow and not create my own eyebrow. I find that this way it is easier for you not to make a mistake that your brows are too thick, your brows are too thin, or something like that. Follow your natural look. So another thing that I can say is that depending on your face shape, it does make a difference what looks best, what eyebrow looks best with your face. So if you have a round chubby face, you want to add a bit of an angle to your eyebrow. But if you want me to speak more about that, leave it down in the comments and I can explain face shape according to eyebrows. So what I'm going to do for my face is I'm just going to follow my natural brow line and take it from there. So on the top I am just going to go 3/4 in, well 3/4 this way in, and not totally from the start. And we are just going to create a line on the top and bring it back down. For me personally, I just follow my brow. I don't do much of a point, but I do create a bit of an arch further across from my face. I do feel that my face is a very manly, so I try not to add too much angles when it comes to my eyebrows as well. And then from there we are just going to go out and fill the brow. When you do this, you want to do little strokes and not necessarily color in the brow, but just light strokes to make it look as natural as possible. So I'm going to start in the beginning over here and just stroke it up to fill in any places that looks a bit empty, and then as I go, just stroking it yet again. And it is as easy as that. And once you are done and you don't want your lines to look too harsh, we go back to the side of the spoolie and we're just going to brush up our hairs, making the lines that we did not as harsh, just softening up all those strokes. And that is it. I'm just going to do the other side quickly. Like I said, hold up your brow to the temple, create your line in small little strokes. Let go, do the top, 3/4 in, finding your arch and filling out. Your brow shape is really just your own personal preference, but do keep in mind what suits you best, depending on the shape of your face. Yeah, that's basically it. After filling it out, brush it out again, just making it less harsh. So you could leave it at this point. You could really just leave it at this point if you want a more natural look, but if you want it a bit cleaner, this is where we will conceal the brow. I am going to use the liquid Camouflage high coverage concealer by Catrice as well, and we are just going to conceal around the brow, giving it a sharper, cleaner look. Same thing like I did with the brow, I am just going to pull it up so application is easier. I always tend to use the same color concealer that I would conceal all my highlight points with. So it is about 2 shades lighter than my complexion. And then we're going to conceal the top off as well, giving it a nice sharp finish. And we are just going to blend out that concealer. You could use your finger really, or a nice blending brush, but what I'm going to do is I am just going to use the same brush I used and just buff that out. If your eyes are not tweezed or threaded or waxed, whatever you do, this is also a nice way to hide all the hairs that is out of place, so that your eyebrows do still look clean and polished. So one thing I also like to do is I like to go in and set what I've done. Usually I use loose powder, but for the sake of this video I am just going to go in with the 3 steps to contour, and I'm going to use this highlight color over here, which is basically just the lightest powder in this kit. And I am just going to take some on my brush and I am just going to set my brow. The reason why I do this is many times you would find that after doing your brows, when you take a photo or something, there's always a shine over your brow and it looks like you now practically don't have brows, and after all that time you spent on your brows, you don't want to look like you don't have eyebrows. So I tend to powder it so that the shine underneath the hairs aren't too hectic. And from there I am now going to go in with this brow gel, and this, like I said earlier, is the Brow Idol. And we are lightly just going to brush up the brows, keeping it nice in place and just setting it in place, looking really nice and finished. And there we go. That is it. As easy as 1, 2, 3. The more you practice, the better you get. At first it is really difficult to keep up, or you feel like you're wasting your time, it's just not working, but just keep on practicing. Everything takes practice, and practice makes perfect. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to know about the face shapes with your eyebrows, as well as anything else you would like to know about the brows. Leave it down in the comments below, and thank you so much. Subscribe, put on your notifications so you know when I've posted. I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, love you.